Happy Thursday, friends. Mortgage Mark here. Let's just talk about this week. And I know this is coming out a little later than normal, but we got a all company call today with our capital markets guys, and they were projecting what they think the Q3 and Q4, the second half of this year is going to bring. And the good news is, for better or for worse, they're agreeing kind of what we've been saying. So I don't have a ton of news to bring to you from that outside of just showing you what's going on right now. Rates, look, guys, getting a little summer heat here, so we're actually going down in rates, right? So you guys have probably seen it. That's the Freddie Mac. It gets updated every Thursday. And again, green is good. We haven't seen this upward trend in a while, but we did today and yesterday have a little bit of bad days, and that's okay. But you can see that at least we've had a good little run in rates as of late. So the good news is we've had that run, but look at this, guys, the technical signals. This black line is the 50-day moving average. It's formidable. You can see how we've hit it before, and then we kind of sell off afterwards. Here we are hitting it again, and if we don't hold this 25-day moving average, we may see rates drift back down and go higher. So again, remember, this down means rates are higher. So we may be heading that direction. Truthfully, I do think that rates are going to keep going up here for the next couple months. I've been saying that I think rates may peak sometime October, November this year, and that's when inflation will peak, is my guess. So we'll see. And the reason why. So inflation's still hot. I think just without getting into technicals from previous weeks' videos, you guys have seen the numbers that suggest why it may be that way. But basically, guys, Q2, it's not official yet, but they think Q2 got revised from a zero GDP, right? The gross domestic product. That's how much we're growing as a country. They revised it to where they think it's going to be a negative 2.1%. Why is that important? Well, Q1 officially came into negative 1.6. So what does two consecutive quarters of negative GDP mean? Drum roll, recession, right? That's the generic textbook kind of definition of what a recession is. So we may be in one, and that's typically the case. You're in one before you truly know it. So we will see. Time will tell. But here's some real estate stats. If you're in the business, you probably know this. If you're not in the business, it's at least interesting. Median price of new listings is only down 1.5% from all-time highs. I talk to people weekly, daily, even like I'm gonna wait for prices to come down. I don't think that's happening. Supply and demand, there's still a huge amount of people wanting to buy homes, and there's a lack of supply out there at this moment in time. So you can see how inventory is up 25%, pretty typical, right? Some seasonality here where people are trying to get their homes listed before the school season starts. That's been out of whack the last 2 years with at-home school from pandemic purposes. Google Homes for Sale, down 7% last year. Again, we're talking 7%. That's like nothing. We're talking from the all-time craziest highs down to only 7% is nothing. 54% of homes in the U.S. sold above list price in May. The most recent stat I also saw was around 60% of homes had multiple offers still. So it is still a really good housing market, a great time to buy. This I am taking away, and you can tell I made this slide because it's pretty bad versus my person helping me in the background. But the attitude versus reality, this was the biggest thing I will say is the takeaway from my call that I just had. It's called the Stockdale, and I forgot about this from Good to Great because it's been many years since I wrote it. But basically, you must never confuse faith that you will prevail with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they may be, right? So what that means is Jim Collins, my little book picture just went away, and we're going to live with that. But Jim Collins wrote the book From Good to Great, and in there it talks about this prisoner of war, 7.5 years. Stockdale was in Vietnam in 7.5 years. The most incredible, terrible things happened to him as a prisoner of war. So Collins wrote, it feels depressing for him just to read that story, knowing what the end story was, meaning he lived to tell about it. And even then, Collins was so depressed, he's like, holy smoke. So he interviewed Stockdale. When he asked the question to Stockdale, and I know you guys can read, but I'm going to read it anyway, it basically says he never lost faith in the end of the story, right? He never doubted that not only would he get out, but he'd prevail and turn the experience into a defining life event, which in retrospect, I would not trade. That is crazy. So the whole point of this, guys, the optimist, like the whole point of the story is the optimist is going to die. The person that said, I'm going to be out by Christmas, I'm going to be out by Easter, I'm going to be out by my birthday. Those prisoners of war, he said, were always the first to die because they'd give up hope when they didn't meet these artificial goals. What does that have to do with today? Again, the whole point of Stockdale was just he took it day by day. He took the reality of, hey, things suck, and he just focused on the end result, but he didn't put a time on it. So guys, as we go through this crazy market, the best thing I can tell you is just focus on the day-to-day. Do the activities that create business, like that generate, phone calls create business. Meet face-to-face with people, that creates business. Those are the things that'll get us through this quote-unquote tough times. But the reality is, fundamentally, the market's still really good. So people need to buy homes. They should be buying homes. And these rates, if they buy today, I don't think these rates are forever. I think they do come down 12 to 24 months from now. When you see a recession, rates will come down. So get in the house in today's prices, because I do think prices will still go up. So lastly, guys, in July 27th, Wednesday, please come join us. I've actually tasked one of my employees to teach the class. There's a phenomenal book, and I really enjoyed reading it. It's basically called Never Lose a Client Again. So it doesn't matter if you're in real estate, if you're in home building, you're just a self-employed person or a salesperson. It's really cool. There are a lot of different tactics and little things that we're starting to implement now about how not to lose a client. So please, here's this QR code. Get that done. Come join us. It's open invite, so feel free to invite whoever you want to invite. And as always, guys, we thank you for watching. I hope you have a great week.